the book of Ecclesiastes. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36. Have mercy upon us, O Lord God of all, and behold us, and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee. Lift up thy hand against the strange nations, and let them see thy power. As thou wast sanctified in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us, and let them know thee, as we have known thee, that there is no God but only thou, O God. Shew new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath. Take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. Make the time short, remember the covenant, and let them declare thy wonderful works. Let him that escapeth be consumed by the rage of the fire, and let them perish that oppress the people. Smite in sunders of the heads of the rulers of the heathens that say, there is none other but we. Gather all the tribes of Jacob together, and inherit thou them as from the beginning, O Lord. Have mercy upon the people that is called by thy name, and upon Israel, whom thou hast named thy firstborn. O be merciful unto Jerusalem, thy holy city, the place of thy rest. Fill Zion with thine unspeakable oracles, and thy people with thy glory. Give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning, and raise up prophets that have been in thy name. Reward them that wait for thee, and let thy prophets be found faithful, O Lord. Hear the prayer of thy servants according to the blessing of Aaron over thy people, that all they which dwell upon the earth may know that thou art the Lord, the eternal God. Yahweh Shai name we pray. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Today's class: Esau, Amalek, the last ruling oligarchy, the little horn. We are in the judgment days.
Shalom, shalom, giving our praise to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shai. A lot of us, let me get my mic on. Come on. Yeah. Shalom, shalom, giving our praise to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shai. We're going to learn about the little horn, who he is. We also in judgment days, man. What I'm spiritually seeing, those that are not taking the truth serious, you can be snatched.
That's right.
Y'all get the classes, and you see the spirit of the nation right now. They don't have the spirit of Joseph. I was watching class last night. For Joseph to forgive his brothers for what they had done to him, man, that was major.
Right.
Major. So a lot of you don't watch the classes and learning about the spirit, the water, learning these things, how Christ is dealing with us individually as vessels. And so important, man, that just like when they persecuted Christ, Christ didn't come back at him, man. He kept it pushing. Right? It's this thing, once you see people that are not in the spirit, you start to understand why. And I'm going to get into it as I explain. Read this first letter.
Narrative. A narrative, story, or tale in any account of a series of related events or experiences, whether non-fictional or fictional. Narratives can be presented through a sequence of written or spoken words, through still or moving images, or through any combination of these.
Understand this, narrative. That's what you've been given your whole life, narrative. Fiction, non-fiction. It's how you guide someone, you mold their mind. See, the system is the potter, and you all were the clay. And what they do is indoctrinate your mind. So when you can't control your spirit, what kicks back in the narrative or whatever you was taught to think, just like the narrative, global warming, there is no such thing as global warming. This is judgment.
That's right.
See, they gave us a narrative why it's so hot. They give us a narrative about everything to spin it to where we can't understand it spiritually. But keep reading.
It connects events, showing their patterns, relating them to each other or to specific ideas, themes, or concepts. It is a practice and art in that when we tell a story, we shape the narrative, the connection between events.
That's what they have been doing with us, not giving us any opportunity to break out of that curse. And that's just your thoughts. When you've been taught, you've been told everything somebody speak to you be a narrative. Is it truth? Or is it that they're just giving you their spin? Because every time you hear a story, it's a different spin to it. But when you ask them, like, where did Christmas originate from? They couldn't tell you. They'll tell you, oh, we just do it for the children. So they quickly to give you a narrative for why they do it. But they won't give you no facts of why. So when you understand, I woke up with this Monday. I said, man, they're giving us a narrative. It's hot as hell out there, ain't it? What global warming, what are they doing that they wasn't doing back in the 70s? The cars had bigger motors back then. The factory's still pumping out the same. But to keep us distracted from not knowing the truth, they always give us a narrative. Keep reading.
Narrating and story involves shaping events around an overarching set of aims or effects, whether consciously or unconsciously. For example, in a comedic narrative, the overarching aim is to surprise, shock, or otherwise lead the audience or reader to be amused.
That's what you're amused by. Because they know it all, don't it? Think about it. Every time something come up, they always got a narrative to why it's happening. Never nothing biblical. You ever see them use the Bible in the news media? Nah. You see them persecute people with the Bible. Keep reading.
In omniscient narration, the narrator may share multiple characters' private thoughts, even in a single scene. In limited narration, by contrast, we can only know what a single person's perception and its subjective limitations tells us. Viewpoint narrative has power.
It has power. Power. What are you thinking they was doing in the 60s with the nuclear war threat? What are they doing today? They running that game again. They just use narratives what they do is to keep you confused. And it keeps people from coming from Christ. And it keeps people believing that they are gods.
Right.
They can prevent all these things. Why haven't they prevented it from? Because this is the hottest I've seen it in a while.
Right.
I'm not. We used to be outside in the summertime.
Right.
Keep reading.
We might interpret story events the way the narrator does.
That's what the news does. It gives you an idea of what they're speaking on. It's telling you what they want you to think. Why the news media and the television is so important. The pastors out here, the Israelites. Everyone is giving you a narrative and not Christ. No one is pointing you to Christ in these times, these days, just judgment time. A lot of people thinking it's not happening, but hey, we're losing sheep daily.
Right.
Violently ways.
Thanks.
People are hungry. You got peoples in New York living out, sleeping out on the streets, migrants. Why are they bringing all these folks into the country? If they know, if they give you a narrative, there is a surplus of 200,000 jobs, but they're not going to give you the true narrative. Hey, we just lost 1 million.
Bring it out.
It's just a narrative to control your mind and keep you from following Christ. Keep reading.
Because we don't have a different viewpoint for comparison.
Nobody compare, just like this truth. No one has really went in, dug up history, fact-checking what they telling us, proving what they say. No, we just accept what's on the surface.
That's right.
It's easy. When you're lazy in the mind, it's easy. Sit in front of that computer for hours and then Google's tell you, are you a robot?
Man, bring it out. That's right. Yeah,
Check this box. Why are you thinking that, you know? I got that this week. Your searching is kind of out of whack, basically. If you're not searching basically what they want you to think, that's why you ever notice you type something in Google, it finishes your sentence. It's taking you to that narrative to where you want to think. But if you think about it, if you type in something else, they don't want you to, what they don't have already programmed, it's confusing to the computer.
Right. Bring it out.
Keep reading.
Or because their voice is strong, self-assured, yet the viewpoint narrator in a scene may be unreliable.
You got to understand why they're giving us global warming. Why? What's the important reason for global warming? This is just judgment from the Most High here. And a lot of us, we thinking we just got ample amount of time to come in, get ourselves right. We supposed to be the light to the world.
That's right.
Very important, warning your relatives. Very important, telling them the truth. If we out there pushing the same narrative if they are teaching us, we're not gonna help. We just a part of this problem too. We ain't the solution. The solution is teaching the truth. Keep reading.
They could lie about what truly happened.
That's the thing, what we get all the time. All the time, just like they had the incident in New York with all them people's gathering. This one guy got over 20 million followers. How did he get that? Basically set up, if something in the news and it's on every news channel, please don't believe it. It's just a narrative to keep, and it's just distraction from keeping you from following Christ too.
Right.
Keep reading.
Or gloss over details that, for example, make them look worse to others. Narration and narrative are two key terms in writing fiction.
This is all we've been getting is fiction from the system, man. You're getting 12 years of fiction in school. No one has ever taught us anything, man. Their whole objective is to keep us docile in the mind.
Right.
That dopamine, a lot of people watch CNN. What have you ever gotten from CNN? Nothing. Habakkuk 2:1. You have never got nothing from the news network. And, you know, sometimes I just think some of the people's on there, either they don't know or they know. Read this out.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1. I will stand upon my watch.
See, a lot of brothers and sisters don't like to stand upon their watch and try to observe and see what's going on, the truth. You have to be seeking truth to come in and teach the sheep.
That's right.
You can't be a part of the world and come in here and try to teach people. Keep reading.
And set me upon the tower.
And set me upon the tower. Keep going.
And will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
When I am reproved, give me Isaiah 21 and 7. When we sit back, being righteous, coming in, teaching the people, you know, some come in, you know, and they don't really understand. They come in and they teach what someone else has given them a narrative. They are basically regurgitating what someone else. If you see how we teaching, is teaching from the Spirit.
Right.
You know, a lot of times people don't have no understanding what it is like to walk in the Spirit. A lot of them, they take it carnal because that's what they're seeing. But you're seeing the things happen right in front of us. The hatred. That's why I say, what nobody out there do to me, I forgive you. Even Stephen, when he was getting stoned, he forgave him.
That's right.
That's the Spirit of Christ.
That's right.
Because they know not what they do. They've been led by what? Man so long is comfortable.
That's right.
Read this.
Isaiah chapter 21 and verse 7. And he saw a chariot with a couple of horsemen.
And you know, they take this word and make this that's another narrative with these spaceships.
Right.
These unidentified objects, man. And then they always giving you some very unseeable photos that, how's a plane? You mean they don't have 4K on these planes yet?
Bring it out.
I mean, what are they still filming? And they got these planes millions of dollars, but they got a $20 camera on there.
Bring it out.
It just doesn't make sense to it. So they have to give people a narrative. They are preparing you for something else. Anytime someone is giving you a narrative, they're preparing you for something else. Keep reading.
A chariot of asses.
A chariot of asses. Read.
And a chariot of camels.
I just don't understand. When they reading this, how they getting ships out of this? How they getting vessels out of this? And when would the Most High and the Son show their hands to the world?
Bring it out.
Everything we're getting, and you'll see the camps, they push this too. It's a part of their programming too. You'll see that a lot of the things that what I'm seeing is it's really camp banging out there.
Bring it out.
And I'm glad the Lord has not involved us in that garbage.
Right.
Be a light to the nation, to the peoples. We supposed to go out and teach all peoples.
That's right.
About repentance and coming back to Christ. Don't you see they all got some form of spiritual understanding? But theirs are been taught by a narrative from a pastor that went to a theological school and was taught how to teach the sheep. A narrative keep them from God. Everything is to keep you from the Most High and His Son.
Right.
Keep reading.
And he hearkened diligently with much heed.
And much attention, read.
And he cried, A lion, my Lord, I stand continually upon the watchtower in the daytime.
And a lot of us, we're not understanding this. When we get caught up into those emotions, we get caught up in those feelings, we don't understand. We fall short of these things. At this time, man, everyone needs to be standing up on their feet, man.
That's right.
10 toes in. Keep reading.
And I am set in my ward whole night.
He said, I'm set in my ward whole night. He's understanding his mission. As Israelite men, we should understand our mission. This is a war. When they read out there in the corner that the Lord is a man of war, they don't have that understanding what that is meaning. Is that just killing people? Is that what war is all about? What about psychological war?
Bring it out.
What about chemical war?
Bring it out.
What about knowledge war?
Bring it out.
Bring that out.
Standing around with a gun, man, don't make you a man.
Bring it out.
That's right.
Say it again.
Some of you ain't never shot nobody.
Bring it out.
That'll destroy you.
That's right.
To see a man dead on the sidewalk. See, they have simplified your lives. But read.
And behold, here cometh a chariot of men.
This come a chariot of men. Read.
With a couple of horsemen.
And these are the men with the messengers of God. Read.
And he answered and said,
Read on.
Babylon is fallen.
This place is done for, man. This place is done for. And it's not just talking about America. You're finding the whole system around the world is falling.
Word.
See, we just make it America. Why are you thinking all these people's flooding in here?
Bring it out.
That country got a lack of resources too. But what they're getting is what we got to get on them ships. The American lie. So they telling you, come to America, you're going to be prosperous. This is nothing but a corporation. Just like any other country. Their resources are drying up. What do people mostly need to survive? Shelter, food, and water.
That's right.
Why are they going so crazy over money?
Bring it out.
Because that's their gods. See, a person got a good job, he Gucci. He ain't got no issues, he can pay his bills. But when the job is stripped from him or her, then what happens?
Bring it out.
That unruly side comes out. You think about the men that was up at Yellow Freight. Put all their time into a company and they walk right in and shut the door. This company had got millions of dollars during that pandemic. What? And you understand, they making money. How are they not financially sound?
Bring it out.
What happens? Don't they get checks from these companies that they hauling this food for? Ain't they trucks probably all paid for? This place is done for y'all. And if you still holding on with that one string or that one thread, you're going to get caught up in it too.
Right.
This place is done for. This is why they're giving you global warming. But keep reading.
And all the graven images of her God he had broken unto the ground.
You seeing a lot of these churches, they folding. You find a lot of the entertainers, they catching hell too. Everybody on the planet right now are in that judgment time. And I kept telling you the lake of fire just was a body of destruction. See, some people thinking we're going to all, at the end days, be standing in line. You know how many people, you know how long that would take? You understand? That don't mean, it's not even common sense for you to think like that. You're going through your trials and tribulations today.
Right.
And a lot of people that don't want to hold on to the truth, they get drowned out here, man, on that water. Or they get destroyed by that fire, by that word. Give me Amos 5:18.
Bring it out.
See, the thing is, we want to continue playing with this. And I tell you, you do not want to play with that 38 with one in the channel.
Bring it out.
See, I see a lot of you still ain't really bought in yet. I see a lot of you still ain't truly believing. Because you're thinking, I'm going to tell you something, I was in Walmart. Normally Walmart's from the 1st to the 10th, it's food stamp time. Walmart's empty. Empty. Where they going? Is there another store I don't know about? Could somebody let me know? Because you know I love a clearance sale. Is there a store around here that's got cheaper products than Walmart's? I told you just about a year ago they cut food stamps. And what the problem is, peoples, they still got that narratives in their mind that this place is going to be okay. No, it is not.
That's right.
You can go to any country. They catching hell there. They going through it. You think it's hot here? Think about down there in Miami. The water's so hot, the fishes can't even breathe in it. The ocean, the sea. You're finding out everywhere fishes are just floating to the top. Why? What makes the water? We go to a swimming pool, why that water cool? I'm trying to get understanding. Why is the water in the pool cool and the water in the ocean? It's a big body of water. Why it's not cool? The whales are beaching themselves. They don't polluted this place so bad, man. But that's just judgment. Read this,
Amos chapter 5 and verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
You got Christian people say they got personal relationships with Christ. You got Israelites walking around here with fringes on, won't even speak to their brothers and sisters.
Bring it out.
You got camps that don't even talk to each other. I had a personal campaign this week. I text mostly everybody. I went to my old phone, got numbers out of there, was texting people. Because people ain't used to no one showing them no love.
Facts.
99% of this world is built on hatred.
That's right. Facts.
You have a problem, you go in the store with somebody, you almost got to scrap with them.
That's right. That's right.
And they work there.
Real life.
Some of these people work at these companies acting like they got like they got stock invested in it.
Bring it out.
I don't get it when people can operate like that. And then next week it's a new crew in there.
That's right.
We don't know.
To what end is it for you?
That's the thing that we should be asking. If this place is being in judgment time, what end is it for you? Is it eternal life or is it death?
Bring it out.
Because, you know, what happened this week, man, it touched me. And it made me think about everybody.
That's right.
That's why I've been telling y'all, pick up the phone, man. You'll never know. See, we don't take nothing serious but that job, paying bills, and being a slave in the mind. We don't take life really serious about doing for self. That's a part of life. Do you think life is about having everything put in front of you where people's charging you? You don't know where your food coming from.
Bring it out.
You never own anything. That's not life. That's captivity.
Facts.
Read.
The day of the Lord is dark.
It's going to be very dark, man. It's going to be crime. You're going to see all kind of things. Right now in Houston, they got syphilis.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know how big Houston is? I mean, I seen that in Tyler back in the day. You know, when you go to Tyler, they had a big billboard. 4 out of 10, somebody here got some kind of venereal disease. And this here was in the names. It's probably up to 8 out of 10 now.
You ain't lying. Bring it out.
And see, a lot of you go around, I heard I talk about that flesh. See, you just an entity in this body. See, you don't fell in love with that flesh.
That's right.
Because you thinking that's you.
That's right.
You beautiful, man.
That's
You
right.
can't, nobody can tell you nothing because you don't lost your way.
That's right.
Before flesh. For flesh. I'm like, damn, for flesh, you'll lose your way. When you die, where you go?
That's right.
Where did flesh go? Don't love that body more than you love Christ, man.
That's right.
It's crazy. So, read that last part again.
To what end is it for you?
What end is it for you, man? It's better to be prepared. You know, I would be just as happy if I know you was ready. Because when Jacob got ready to yield up the goat, when people are in the spirit, Joseph, they can yield up the ghost and not have no worry. They know what's gonna happen.
That's right.
When you haven't pre-planned, this is something else I'm going with people. Making sure you're getting insurance. I'm talking about this stuff.
Yes,
Making sure you're taking care of your business. Making sure that everything, your wife got your information. You know, a lot of you still got what you call it, codes on your phone nobody got.
That's right.
Passcode.
Yeah, passcodes. You don't want nobody to know. You die, your phone just dead. Nobody knows. Your spouse don't know your credit card PIN number to your credit card, so the bank keeps the money. That's just that flesh. You in love with them lies.
That's right.
It's better to be prepared, man. Make sure y'all got stuff written down.
Yes, sir.
It's time, man. It's time that what end is it for you? You don't know. You don't know when your day, man. That can be scary. That touched me. You know, to know that a person could be just talking to you and now they're gone.
Right.
You know, and sometimes you don't even know the joy that you get out of that person. Conversations be all crazy, but it be good. You don't know. That's why I tell y'all to open up to each other.
That's right.
Call each other, man. And a lot of y'all sitting out there watching today, man, that's going through it. It's that flesh. It's not the spirit, it's that flesh.
Right.
See that flesh will lead you, man. Why are you thinking you see on Facebook all these sisters now? They just all want to be glamour girls. Photoshop pictures, going to get all this, and a lot of them just plastic.
Thanks. Straight like that.
Some of you are really in love with a Barbie doll.
Thanks.
Read on,
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
It's not going to be light, man. No one is going to be bringing you positive information. You know, when I go to places, I say I'm going to be light.
That's right.
I'm going to speak to people, man. I go into Walmart's up there by me, knowing most of the people's in there now, they ain't got fired. That's what you want to be, that light. They going to say, hey, that person ain't coming in here with their head down, quiet. You know, don't want to communicate with nobody. Nobody speaks to nobody anymore.
Right now.
That's one thing about being in this truth. We learn how to greet each other. Like we do Monday through Sunday through 7 days a week, we speaking to each other.
That's right.
Breaking back old bad habits that we have been held to achieve. You know, in a small town, people speak to each other.
That's right.
Now they don't.
Yes, sir.
Now they don't. They kill each other. Give me Malachi 4:1. People don't have no love, man. Nobody loves nobody anymore. You see these people in these relationships, that's all they are, is relationships. Read this out.
Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1.
Read this. Read on.
For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven.
It's hot as hell around here, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
It's judgment, man. And this ain't just started, it's been started. Read.
And all the proud.
See, a lot of them, like we talking about proud, man, they got that flesh on, man. They got that jewelry on. They got the stuff that they go in these stores and buy. You know, some of them go get them eyelids. I seen somebody with a fork, man, and she took a side picture with the eyelids. The proud, man. Proud to confess their sins. And they see, because they don't know, they think it's global warming out there. It's judgment. Just like when Ark was bringing out Joseph last night, understanding the famine.
Yes, sir.
By him being in the spirit, the Lord prepared him. So him going through what he had to go through, he was being prepared when his family came.
That's right.
See, sometimes you got to go through something. Some of you don't want to do that.
That's right.
And that's just changing. Some of you got to unload that backpack. Some of you got that stuff on your ship. You still walking around with it.
Bring it out.
That flesh. In love with that flesh. Gotta let that flesh go, man. Keep reading.
Yea, and all that do wickedly.
All that do wickedly, man. Read.
Shall be stubborn.
What they gonna be?
Shall be stubborn.
Read on.
And the day that cometh shall burn them up.
Shall burn them up spiritually. What do they got here now? They have to manifest fun now. And anything that they do, they got to create it. And you can't say, man, I'm finna go with the family over the family house and relatives' house and have a barbecue. You might get shot. And I was talking to Deacon Ezra yesterday, and he was telling me, man, I gave my condolences. He done lost 2 family members, man. Told me about his nephew, I think that was his nephew, standing and holding a baby, got hit twice. I'm like, how did the baby? Judgment. Judgment, man. It's here. Right. See, some of you been playing games so long that you want to continue playing games with the Most High in the summer. Some of you playing game because you're in love with that flesh. So that flesh is beautiful, ain't it? Where that flesh go back to? Where it go back to? Where? I'm gonna put you out there in that garden soon. We need to grow some because you use that flesh for the wrong thing. I'm gonna use it for the right thing. Right. Everything comes from the dust. That's right. Bring it out. It is so vital to have your spirit prepared for what's coming. You can see that people are just auto accidents, gun violence. It's darkness around here because the souls are very empty. That's right. Keep reading.
Saith the Lord of hosts.
Says the power. Read.
That it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
So you got to kill off the whole families, whole generations. This got to be done. You have to cleanse this world of cancer.
That's right.
A lot of people don't want to have Habakkuk 2:2. A lot of people don't want to do this. A lot of people don't understand what's going on because the narrative that they've been prepared, man, school prepared you for what? To believe whatever the news or whatever your congressmen say. Right now they got Donald Trump running around here. Man, Donald Trump ain't gonna do a day in jail. It's just to keep the Republican people occupied. You got the Democrats over here. You got that's a religion too. You got the churches. Now you got the NFL back. That's a religion too. Some of these are psychos when it comes to that. Why are you thinking them stadiums be filled like T.D. Jakes' church? They getting fed that same dose of lies. Read this. Read on that.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 2.
Read.
And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision.
That's what we come in here and do, man. We come in here and tell what the Lord put on our spirit. That's all we doing. A lot of people like, man, I can't believe it. You know why? Because you're really not in the spirit.
That's right.
I know this morning class probably was difficult for some of y'all. Some of you weren't even taking notes. Some of you didn't even come into class. When I see that, it concerns me. Because I know you're not taking this walk serious. See, it bothers me. Who's next? Because when you weak in faith, something happened.
That's right.
You go astray.
Yep.
Right. See, them waves they start hitting you. You know, you've been out in that boat. Man, them waves start hitting you. You trying to get back to land.
That's right.
I mean, get me back to the land.
That's right.
Somebody come through there with a one tidal wave and turn your whole boat over. You out there in that ocean, where you going? Look at me, I might cramp up after 100 yards trying to get back to something. I'm gonna be stroking trying though. See, if I was on the Titanic, I would have took me a door off. See, I'm gonna go jump in the water with that. See, I'm a thinking man. You're gonna cry out to Christ, but you better be prepared for life.
You ain't lying.
See, you gotta be thinking, man. Near death, you gotta be thinking. Read.
And make it plain upon tables.
Make it plain upon tables, man. Read.
That he may run that readeth it.
And the person that get these visions, that taking notes in these classes, that's understanding, that hitting one in the messenger, that you may escape, man. What we're doing is preparing you for life.
Yes, sir.
Not death. See, you choosing death, not life.
Right.
It's your choice. The scriptures advise us on these things. Choose life rather than death. See, because you're in love with that flesh, and sometimes it can be your mate.
Uh-oh. That's right.
You can love your mate more than you love Christ.
Right. Teach.
You can love relative more than you love Christ.
That's right.
You should be a light to your relatives. Go spend time with them. Go and, hey man, go send them to classes. See, a lot of you got that little hand, don't want to do no work. You'll come in here and get fed and go right back out there and be docile from after the Shabbat till you get back in here again. Very important to set your life up. And you understand why they were talking about quicksand in the middle of the ocean. See, a lot of you build your house on sand, man.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
And eventually it's gonna slip in. What happens? Quicksand, your feet's in there, you're struggling, now you're struggling with this truth. Now you're wasting there, you can't even think because what you see in death. When you had the opportunity to not even fall into that situation.
Yes, sir.
Keep reading up.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time.
See, the vision is yet for an appointed time. Read.
But at the end it shall speak.
It's teaching us, man. It's teaching us the truth. See, I understand now. The first shall be last. All these people that call themselves awakened, they're going to be last. And the last shall be first. We're going to get the understanding. They're going to come. A lot of them right now, they're coming up out of those camps, man.
Yes, sir.
No, it's no light in there, man. It's the same old darkness. I talked to the bros out there in Atlanta this week, man. Nehemiah and them, they watching. Everybody watching.
That's right.
And, you know, we talked about how we have changed. Just like we supposed to be going out today. I was like, it's too hot, man.
You ain't lying.
Facts.
Even plants out there hollering, man, can I come inside? Plant out there, man, could you bring me in, man? It's hot out here. Oh, give me some of that water, that information. Read on.
And not lie.
And it's not going to lie. What we bring it to you is truth. Because what they have done, they have set us up for failure.
That's right.
Read.
Though it tarry.
It takes a little time, man. Maybe you don't get it this class. Maybe you'll get it the next class when somebody refine it and teach it a different way. It's going to take a little time, man. Because guess what? A lot of you still ain't gave up that flesh.
That's right.
You're still holding on.
Teach it.
Still holding on, man. Keep reading.
Wait for it.
And what it say?
Wait for it.
What they supposed to do for Christ?
Wait for it.
Wait for that spirit, man, to come on you, man. Read.
Because it will surely come.
It's going to come, man. The comfort of the word going to come. The truth is going to be here for us, man.
That's right.
You just got to apply yourself. A lot of times we don't apply ourselves. We apply ourselves getting up at 6:30 to get to work at 8.
Right.
But for this truth, we don't apply ourselves.
Right.
That's right.
And that's when I know that, hey, you building your house on quicksand. See, I tell you the truth. I wasn't feeling good this morning. Woke up this morning about 3-something. Sinus, man. I don't know who invented sinus. It's a terrible thing, man, when it wakes you out your sleep. But understand, prepare yourself. Y'all should be preparing yourself out there. You shouldn't be sitting around. You should be building that vessel lot of people just don't get it, man. And it hurts me to know. See, you might not, a lot of people might not see you, but I can see you. If you're taking the truth part-time, eventually, you might not take it full-time ever.
That's right.
Because when I come into the truth, I come in here, man, I want to know.
Yes, sir.
See, don't you want to know?
Yes, sir.
Or you just want to continue being taught something that you have no understanding? That's how you got 8 students in class. They already done read the book. See, we go in there, chapter 1 through 64. Oh, man, time to drop that class. Used to get no 2.0 in college. Read up.
It will not tarry.
It won't tarry. Read.
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
You know, understand people, man, even though they got fringes on, they at the Shabbat, feast days. But I don't really count Christianity, because Christianity are really the lost sheep, the dead sheep, the ones that have been awakened to this truth, know about it, participated in it. You got a lot of Israelites, I asked them, you got your tent, what you doing with it? You can donate it. Somebody else can use it. It's just sitting at your house collecting dust now. See, they don't think about it. When you don't come in here serious, you see your tent, that's your spirit. Docile. It's good for nothing.
Bring it out.
Read on.
But the just shall live by his faith.
The just is going to live by his faith, man. They're going to live by his word. They're going to believe. They are true believers. True believers in what is being coming out. Because no one has never told you, hey, man, it's just global warming. See, we go with all the narrative that they have taught us. George Washington was a so-called white man. I'm doing Hitler, man. I'm just finding out. I mean, actors. These are actors that they put in place. Yep. That's all they are, is actors. Did you see them pictures? Man, it blows your mind. For what I see, it blows your mind. And then I get the information, I go type the name in, and I get the image, and I be just like, man, what a narrative. Nobody want to speak of these things. Even these other Israelite camps, they don't really want to fool with us. You know why? Because Christ is on us.
That's right.
They don't want to fool with it, they don't, and they never had the understanding of Christ. They just had what man have fed them.
That's right.
Man leads you to destruction every day.
That's right.
Keep reading up.
Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
You understand? Who is this man? Who is this nation that is in control? Who the only nation named blotted out the book?
Bring it out. Bring it out.
They're not even over here in America, man. They still over there control. They're controlling the whole thing behind the scene. Y'all, everything that y'all get on TV is like the movies. The movies, if you watching movies spiritually, they better. If you watching carnally, they probably good to you if you're carnal-minded. But you can understand what's going on, like the Barbie movie. Some countries don't ban it. It's to make the woman the head of the house and make the man the wear the dress.
That's right.
That's all it is. And they feed these to their children as soon as they born. They feed this to their children. Give me Daniel 71. They feed them to our children. We feed stuff to our children. We don't even ask questions.
Bring it out.
Think about it.
Right.
How many people ask questions about things that they go in the store and buy? How many people go in there and look up the things that they buy? It's some of the food you buy.
Bring it out.
Because some of them will tell you, hey, this is 100% healthy. You turn it on the back and you know it's a crime. It was a lie.
That's right.
They disguising everything, the sugar that's in there. They got different names for it.
That's right.
I don't know if you see it, they call it a CO1 or something. The color that they put in it.
Yeah.
They disguise everything. But hey, I was at home the other day. Burger King looked pretty good for me, man. Man, Burger King used to be pretty good back in the day, didn't it? But we didn't know we was eating death.
That's right.
It tastes good, don't it?
Yes, sir.
Facts.
All of, hey, They don't have people. They had people that they do sample tests on. So you ever notice you eat some Whataburgers or some Chick-fil-A, man, the ketchup on the tater tots with the grape jelly on the biscuit, with the fake orange juice, man. Yeah. It's explosion in your mind, ain't it? I figured it out, man. It's a lie. It's a lie. You know, that's why you see the children, they can't pass McDonald's, don't you? A child go crazy by you, they pass McDonald's. You know, McDonald's used to have the playground out there for them and everything. I don't even see McDonald's like that no more. They got drive-thrus now only.
You ain't lying.
But I'm also seeing these restaurants. No one is there.
That's right.
So that's why I tell you, eat from home, man. And if we was really truly buying in, we'll be on top of it with getting our own food, man, making sure. Because it's very important that you don't put these diseases in your child that we have to deal with.
That's right. That's right.
Because I was talking to Deacon P last Sunday. He was like, man, I said, man, dealing with chicken and turkey mostly. He was like, man, they got worms. You thought pork had it.
That's a fact.
Facts.
You have to grow your own food now.
That's right.
It's time. And that's why I be so hard on you, brother. But you know now, I'm going to fall back because if you don't care, then how can I care for you?
That's right.
If you care, then I see you there.
That's right.
That's when I know you care.
That's right.
But if you study making excuses, I know you don't care what your children eat, what your wife eat.
That's right.
Because what you eat is very important to your brains.
That's right.
It makes you think better. Read that out.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea.
You understand? He said, I seen this vision, these kingdoms, man. But give me Job 33 and 14. Let me show you. It's not new in the sun. The Lord doing the same thing with us.
That's right.
We're coming in here teaching these classes. It's the Lord that's doing it.
That's right.
See, you're supposed to give all honor and glory to the Father and the Son.
That's right.
See, when a proud man, he did it. Mm-hmm. See, we ain't did nothing. We just vessels.
That's right.
See, we just them ships that bring you good greetings. See, when a ship land up on a foreign country, they normally bring in good tidings to them. But see, the ships that the enemy brought, they wasn't bringing good tidings. They were bringing death.
That's right.
However you want to do it, read this out.
Job chapter 33 and verse 14. For God speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth not.
See, a lot of people, they can't perceive it. They don't have no understanding of how God works. Read.
In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed.
Read on.
Then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions.
See, he opened their mind and sealed their instruction. These are spiritual men. Jeremiah and them. These are men, Paul, not Saul, Paul. See, we was brought up in this truth under Saul.
That's right.
That's what you're seeing out there now. Everybody out there trying to find fortune and fame.
Facts.
Under Saul out here destroying people.
That's right.
But under Paul was one of Christ's biggest disciples. Dealt with him personally. Just like he did with us. Some of you have visions. You have no understanding of them. Some of you don't because you're not reading your Bible.
That's right.
You're watching television. That's what you're dreaming about.
Bring it up.
See, you're not thinking spiritual things. Keep reading.
That he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man.
Draw him from his purpose and hide pride from man. That's why I say, is it so hard for these people? You getting they have issues with you. They don't even want to speak to you no more.
That's right.
That let me know you're living in the flesh. That's a fleshly, carnal-minded person. That is not Christ-like. We're supposed to be the image of Christ, the body of Christ. But some people choose to be carnal-minded. They choose to be the demon, because it's their flesh. It's all about their flesh. See, they see what's in that mirror. They need to be looking out that window and see what's around them. Death and darkness. A lot of us don't want to change. That's why I say, in the morning, when I come in here, I want to see spiritual things. I'm not going to say nothing to you hardly no more. I'm not going to say as much as I used to because I know some people have made their bed already. See, they don't make their bed. See, it's nothing that I can do because I know that these brothers and sisters are getting these classes, but they're not getting them because they're not taking it serious.
That's right.
And they're not following the order that's come down in the Bible. See, they want to follow what the world. See, the world is flesh, and the world is death.
Thanks. Yes, sir.
Back to Daniel 73.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 3. And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
You got to understand, they're using the same tool, but they just use it differently. The same thing that they have destroyed us from. And let me tell you something. They're not worried about these other nations. They're attacking us. And they're attacking these other nations that thinking they somebody. Because when I was looking at y'all, I seen more albinos working there.
Thanks.
See, a lot of these corporations and jobs, I brought you out this a few years ago, how these trucking companies were shutting down. How can you make money when you're putting all your money into gas and repairs and tires?
Bring it out.
You can't pay somebody $200,000 to sit in the boardroom and do nothing all day no more. And see, and to me, if y'all was a company, then it should be of the peoples.
That's right.
Thanks.
Not of the people sitting in these offices. They're going to make bad decisions every time. But the people there come together because they out there in the field seeing daily.
Thanks.
Someone sitting above you can't see what you're going through, man. They didn't care about these people's losing their livelihood. People children don't even have insurance now.
Bring it out.
Did they care? Did you ever notice that yellow stock rose once they closed down?
Crazy.
What was they buying? That money's still sitting somewhere in it. You say yellow been in business 99 years. You mean 50 years they didn't turn a profit?
Bring it out.
Bring it up.
It doesn't make sense to it. So they didn't make enough money to have in their reserve to sustain them during hard times. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on out here. And these things, they are done strategically. Shut them down. Isaiah 32:5. Everything that they're doing is because it's the spirit of the Most High. You thinking the Most High ain't dealing with them? You see how they punishing people? You see how they persecuting people? See, the so-called albinos, they used to think that getting getting shot by the police only happened to us. It's happening to them too.
Facts.
Them getting evicted out their homes.
Yes, sir.
Them losing their jobs. Why are you thinking you're seeing more of them on the streets than us?
Bring it out.
Man, we don't live through poverty long enough. We understand how to be poor.
That's right.
You ain't lying.
Straight like that.
Some noodles and some albino wieners, boy, get you through a day, won't it? And a pack of Kool-Aid. See, we know how to live.
Yes, sir.
See, they don't. See, everybody that's been on their high horses is getting knocked down. The proud. Read this up.
Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal.
These are the ones that they call you. How do people look at these people now and say, hey, man, they got wisdom and knowledge. They got understanding. They know how to build. This whole thing was done illegally. Stole the land, deceived the people, built kingdoms all over the world, and you expect for them to last forever. So when the children start waking up and saying something is wrong, the parents be like, no, this is good. They've been good. It's been good. We've been blessed. Blessed to eat rotten food. Blessed to pay bills all your life.
Bring it up.
Blessed to have to be separated from your children. Is that blessings or is that just retardation? Some people got to examine their kinfolks, man.
Thanks.
Some of that is just pure retardation. Read on.
Nor the toil said to be bountiful.
These covetous persons, man, read.
For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord.
All these things are set up, man, is against the Lord. That's why your television, they run these things, man. These holidays, they already go into the stores now. I know I went in there on Father's Day, man. They had Father's Day in the back row back there in the back aisle. Mother's Day had a whole day everywhere. Valentine's Day, Easter. It's really this against the man.
You ain't lying. Oh, yeah.
They had a single aisle in the back there. And all the stuff still over there in clearance. What do fathers used to get, a sock or a tie? It's crazy. It's crazy how we don't see that taking the man. Why are you thinking they got the LGBT and all these things, man? Pushing it. Drag queens twerking on our children. And you better not say nothing. I just seen a boy out there reading the Bible. They took him to jail.
That's right.
Took him to jail.
That's right.
See, the Bible, you finna get persecuted for this word.
That's right.
That's why I say we need to be preparing ourselves. Keep reading.
To make empty the soul of the hungry.
See, that's all it does. This false information, this narrative that they give us, this regurgitated information, it makes empty the soul of the hungry. People's always looking for some kind of knowledge. Even a tree seek knowledge. Where did it grow? It grows straight up though.
That's right.
Even animals seem like they're getting smarter. I'm just telling you, man. The only thing that I see getting dumber is the people.
Bring that out.
Because they want to hold on to traditions, lies, things that are not going to benefit them. I tell you, come in this truth, get your life right with Christ, your house right. That's when you know you're building in the right way. If you ain't doing that, you might be going sideways. Keep reading.
And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail.
It's all the people why you think you got all these denominations? They haven't come together and said, hey man, something ain't right. We got the same book, but we got all different ways of serving Christ. You got the Seventh-day Adventist, Jehovah's Witness do it their way. You got the Baptists do it their way. You got the non-denominational do it their way. You got Islam do it their way. They choose Allah. And you got a lot of the maniacs, their God is the football stadium. You'll see them in there hollering and screaming just like they were doing in them churches, don't they? All that praise dance. That's what they do in the stadium, though. There's no difference.
That's right.
Back to Daniel 74. Just telling you.
Yes, sir.
Read this, sir.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 4. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings.
It had eagle's wing. Read.
I beheld. To the wings thereof were plucked.
The wings thereof were plucked. You know, when you pluck off those wings, that dominion and conquering stops. Read.
And it was lifted up from the earth.
And it what?
Lifted up from the earth.
This means that they was lifted over every kingdom, every nation and tribe. Read.
And made stand upon the feet as a man.
Read on.
And a man's heart was given to it.
You understand this? This is all talking about man. Give me Jeremiah 4 and 13. Just talking about, man, this Bible is not the spookism Bible that they teach.
That's right.
The Fantasy Island Bible. Read this out.
Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 13. Behold, he shall come up as clouds,
Darkness, read.
and his chariots shall be as a whirlwind.
Violently. This is what they create in the earth. They create chaos. They create destruction. Read.
His horses are swifter than eagles. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled.
See, everything he do is to corrupt our minds so we can never follow Christ.
Bring it out.
That's all they want to do. You can drop a bomb on somebody, man. They can all be following Christ. What good is that going to do?
Bring it out.
You better destroy their minds
Bring it out.
and the minds of their children. That's how you keep them corrupt and spoiled.
That's right.
Teach them Easter. Now they going back to school. What they going back to learn?
You ain't lying.
You can't tell me nothing that you took from school and you made it into a trade.
Bring it out.
Nothing. School was just dead air.
You ain't lying.
Just like a bologna sandwich with no taste.
You ain't lying.
It's just and what they do, school is like drills, like the football field. They putting people through drills to see who can get the better grades. So it's the same old thing as competition, ain't it?
That's right.
You got the A students, the B students, C, D, F. You know, you got the slow with the little helmets on, and you know. School is about division just like everything else. It's going to take the strongest ones that believe in this system, they're going to raise them up. Them going to be your supervisors, the people that you encounter as your mayors, the people that you go and you're dealing with in these stores. Management. They're not going to want to hire you. This is a system. And it will spoil you. When somebody can tell you to go get a job, I wonder what they thinking when they telling me to go get captivity.
Bring it out.
That's all they telling you. Go apply yourself to the plantation. Because America is a plantation, Africa is a plantation, Europe is a plantation. The whole world is just one big plantation. And only the elites, the oligarchies are the ones that are benefiting. What you call them?
Warlocks.
The warlocks. They're about war too, man. They see us raising up what they do. They infiltrate it.
Facts.
So they send people in to cause confusion.
That's right.
Raise up camps and do what they do. This whole thing, man, they already knowing what's going to take place. They already knew we was going to wake up. Even Malcolm X said it. But see, he was under their spell, just like Martin Luther King. See, a lot of them, they rebel, just like these so-called albinos rebelling against them. They're the ones at these schools function. You don't see a bunch of the so-called blacks at the school function. They got little Timmy and little Trey had a relationship books in the school. They ain't gonna say nothing. Nah, that's okay. I love him anyway. That's how they have dumbed us down to think. See, most men's won't accept that from their children. Women's will, because women's want that love.
You ain't lying.
They accept that. That's why they had to create welfare. Why couldn't they create it to keep the man in the house?
Bring that out.
Understanding how the system works. That's why you still got mama still in the houses running houses. Mama don't want to take that number 2 role because everything that she see, they teach her she number 1. They be listening to that Nelly song. I am number 1, no matter what you think. Daniel 75. And we're dealing with that first piece, man. You know, you're dealing with that first piece. The first one was like a lion and had eagle wings. And I beheld till the wings thereof was plucked and was lifted up from the earth. When you understand these things, man, you understand that this is a nation of peoples, a nation of destroyers, a nation that their parents didn't want to listen to, didn't want to follow the word. See, because once the Once the head goes sick, the whole body be sick.
That's right.
See, we've been sick for a long time. That's why I say we can forgive our brothers and sisters, man. Because if you still sick, you won't forgive.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You have to, that lets you know that you're not sick anymore, man. You can see people as they are sick. When people are sick, they do stupid things.
That's right.
You ever seen the airlines going on with the airlines now? They 30,000 feet up there going crazy. See, I'm gonna get up and stomp somebody's teeth out. Listen, man, land this plane first. You can do what you want to do. So they was hollering the terror, but you know, wasn't no planes hitting no building. Terrorists, they got box cutters. You see how weak them dudes look? Somebody would have had me on camera looking like Bruce Lee on them guys, man. Damn. It's like being that roach, man. You're sitting up there trying to get him, man. You know he's trying to stay alive. You done stepped on him. Come back a few minutes, he gone. Let's deal with the second beast, man. Let's deal with the second beast.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 5. And behold, another beast.
This is the Persian and the Medes, man. That first one was Babylon. You know, you're dealing with Persian and Medes, man. Read on.
A second, like to a bear.
Like it to a bear, man. That's, you know what a bear does? You ever seen a bear grab a human?
Yeah.
Man, I seen a bear grab a guy. They had him like a circus animal. That man was standing on the side, grabbing him by his neck. Man, I'm telling you, he shook him so hard, snapped his neck. But read.
And it raised up itself on one side.
Read on.
And it had 3 ribs in its mouth of it, because the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh.
You got to understand what these nations have set up. They're here to devour flesh. This is what we're not really understanding. How you devour flesh? You teach them that they're beautiful.
Bring it out.
That's the easiest weapon you can teach them.
Bring it out.
Give them beauty, man. You got all kind of stuff, beauty creams. See, they really don't know makeup was for men's. Men's that wanted to be women's back in the day.
You ain't lying.
Most of the sisters follow men's spirit, effeminate man's spirit.
That's right.
That's what they following. Because a real woman is not going to be portraying and acting like that.
Right.
Catch her out in public, she out there loud.
Bring it out, please.
That's what they act like. They act like the television. You go into these ghettos, man, you see the same old show.
That's right.
It's the same narrative. And guess where they push it on? The children.
That's right.
The children have to see this, man. The children have to see these things. Jump over to verse 8 and 1.
Daniel chapter 8 and verse 1. In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me, Daniel, after that which appeared unto me at the first. And I saw in a vision. And it came to pass, when I saw, that I was at Shusha, in the palace, which was in the province of Elam, and saw in a vision, and I was by the river of Eula. Then I lifted up mine eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns.
It's 2 horns, man. 2 horns. This is the Persian and the Medes. Read.
And the 2 horns were high.
They was high. Read.
But one was higher than the other.
One kingdom was greater than the other. Read.
And the higher came up last.
And the higher came up last. Read.
I saw the ram pushing westward.
This means he was destroying everything in his path. Read.
And northward and southward, so that no beast might stand before him.
This is what they do. This is what they were set up to do. To devour souls. And a lot of us thinking it's just war. It's doctrine. It's doctrine. What is the world so drunk on now? Lies. That's all they drunk on. You get to talking to anybody amongst your family about religion or anything, you'll see it just go left quick. And let me tell you something. They will fight you for it.
Ain't lying.
They will kill you for it.
That's right.
I done seen 2 old albinos. One killed his wife, cut up and put in 3 suitcases. And the other one, he was a judge, blew his. I'm like, man, They living good. Well, but let me tell you something. They've been spoiled too. See, this whole thing corrupts everybody's mind. See, the people that's sitting over as taskmasters, they mind corrupted too.
Thanks.
You go to a dealership right now and take your car in there and they're trying to rob you.
You ain't lying.
Some of you look at your receipts, man. Part costs $1.99, labor $1,000. That's why I say, having life, you become a man and a woman, you start doing for yourself, making your own food.
Right.
I got great, someone told me, hey, the ranch dressing was great. Some of the things, and what I tell you about business, you have to work one business till you get that business moving forward.
That's right.
Because me and y'all be talking about the wood business. We talk about the saws where we had the wood splitter. It's a learning lesson, man. You have to take one thing and make it successful. And during those trials and tribulations, you'll understand what to do if you're going into something else. We haven't been prepared. That's what we are doing now. The Lord is doing this to us now. The Lord is molding us into businessmen.
Right.
Self-sufficient to take care of our own. That we don't want to do. It's easy to watch TV and go to Walmart.
Facts.
It is. Daniel 76, let's deal with the third beast.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl.
And why is it a leopard? What do these animals represent? When they hungry, you don't want to be in their way.
Bring it out.
Just like them pack of lions, when they hungry, you don't want to be that buffalo out there.
That's right.
They hit you from all sides, don't they? Keep reading.
The beast also had 4 heads.
He had what?
4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
And you understand these 4 heads, man. These are 4 rulers. These are 4 rulers. Go to 1 Maccabees 1 and 1. This is just talking about man and a system. This is why I keep telling you. They know that they have a short time. And the time is dwelling down now. Because peoples are not buying their lives anymore, man. You got a lot of people what you call woke.
Thanks.
They don't care nothing about voting. Ain't you tired of the same narrative when it's come down to voting for a president or a politician?
Bring it out.
They come in, Obama promised them change. He gave them change. He gave them LGBT laws. He turned the White House. He gave them the change that he was promising. But see, they don't know what the change he's talking about. No one ever asked him, Mr. President, what changes are you going to do? They sit out there, yeah, Obama, you know. That's our president. We got a black president. Knowing Obama in there bent over a couch somewhere. But Barack Obama ain't running nothing. Y'all, do we got the pyramid still here? See, because the president's probably on that 3rd tier. See, because people thinking the Masons are high, they just soldiers for the upper class, for the oligarchies. They do their dirty work. That's all that goes on. Keep reading.
1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1. And it happened, after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian.
Here you go see these people, man. These people thinking that these people was albinos. These was dark-skinned peoples. See, Esau, you know, what do we call our sisters and brothers? How many of y'all knew somebody called Red?
You ain't lying.
Who ever heard of Yellowbone? You see what I'm saying? It's just common sense. And let me tell you this. Now I know the brother was up here last week watching the fight. Name me 2 so-called white men fights that would come up here to watch. I'll wait. Think about it. It doesn't have the substance.
No. Bring it out.
There is no extra sugar in the Kool-Aid when you come to that. You know, we like our stuff sweet. Give us diabetes and everything, but think about it. Comedian. Who we gonna go see? Think about it. But the illusion, just like you see the buses riding around here empty, the illusion is you see the Supermans and stuff. And we buy our children these things. And we indoctrinate them into the lies. Read on now.
Who came out of the land of children, had smitten Darius, king of the Persian and Medes.
These are the Persian and Medes. They destroyed. All these kingdoms was to do was take down other kingdoms. Read.
That he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
This was the first over Greece. Greece coming to power. How long ago was this? How long ago was this before Christ? Look at the time. That's where we get the time. We don't have the exact time, but we get close to the time. But read.
And made many wars.
And made many wars. How did the Most High say they was going to conquer land? This is how they destroy. They come in, they destroy everything. What they do is they go out to the leaders, the noblemen. They got to take them down. Yeah. See, the foot soldiers going to follow. Throw them a piece of cornbread, they're going to listen, hey, we in. Keep reading.
And won many strongholds.
Won many strongholds, took down many nations. Read.
And slew the kings of the earth.
Slew the kings. How do you control the whole planet? This just didn't start a couple years ago. This has been in the making. Yes, this is in their spirit. They don't know how to do nothing else but rob, steal, and kill. Right now in Nigeria, they're having a war. Is that Nigeria over there getting down?
South Africa.
No, that's not South Africa. They don't have a coup now. They don't took the president down.
President down. And
where is it at? Niger.
The treasurer is under fire too for stealing money.
Hey, who do you think sent them in there to do that? Did they do that on their own? They got agents everywhere, man.
Right.
That's how they get down. If you don't like Saddam was an agent for him. Did you know he was on the payroll at one time?
Right.
Soon as he say he was king, guess what they do? They show him the rope. That's how they do it. Just down there in Panama, what you think they did for him? The dope dealers. Right now, you seeing this guy right now in New York, they talking about killed all those people. I accidentally came across a movie 2 years ago. It was the peoples in the community. Did you know it was a gated community where he was dumping those bodies? They give us a narrative. They just pull him, just like what John Wayne Casey, whatever his name, up in Chicago. Did you know he was working with the parties? He's one of the Democratic or the Republican parties. Let me tell you something. Ain't nobody out here, one person killing all these people, man. It's an organization. And they love little children. Yeah. Why are you thinking you don't own your children? Anything they can do to put them into them foster homes. And when they put them in there, they got all kind of sodomites and predators waiting for them. This is how you conquer and destroy. And then the children, once something happened to them when they little, they can't get it out their system. They have anger forever. And they know this. Why are you thinking everything is predicated to the children? Everything. Easter, Halloween, Christmas. Why are you thinking everything? They even have Valentine's Day at school. You bring candy for your classmates. They pushing this propaganda, man. But read on.
And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations.
And these are the people's read.
And so much that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up.
See, you understand, as they conquering, dividing, destroying, that makes them feel good inside, man. To hold peoples under their authorities. You can't say nothing in your own country.
I got you.
Pull it up. Did we ever find the president on there?
You got your governments.
Where that is at?
Government is right here towards the bottom. You have the religion, medical, your government, legal, education, media, entertainment. All of that's low level.
Why they got Netflix on there, man?
Part of the media that's distracting.
Yeah, they do that a lot. Go up to the second tier. Let's look at this. There go your Masons right there. Them foot soldiers. Your cartel, your black markets, your Israelites with the Jewish star over there. Think about it. Let's go up to the next one. Now you're getting up into the big boys. Look up there. You got your emperors, your kings, your queens, your pharaohs. It's order to this, man. It's order. Keep reading. And let me tell you something. Once they come in, they send those people into your country. They send them into your country to start setting up their laws, to setting up what system that they're going to run there, to deceiving the people. Don't nobody practice their own traditions now.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Nobody. Everybody celebrates what the world celebrates.
That's right.
This is crazy. But nobody is saying anything.
That's right.
Read on up.
And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him.
They bow down. They take a knee to him. Because what they do, they make sure that the people, they get all the tax money. People's in these land paying taxes. You go into a lot of these countries. Like when I was in Cancun, I was surprised to see McDonald's. McDonald's was high back then, man. It was already $10 a meal. What McDonald's was number one there? $22?
I know it's about 8.
And what are you eating? Have you ever seen a McDonald's farm? A potato, where they grow that potato? We don't ask questions about nothing. We just that let you know that something ain't right about our mind.
That's right.
To not to question nothing. And when you start questioning something, then they thinking something wrong with you. You going crazy. That's why a lot of them, and what I've been seeing with these Israelites, they are in a cult mentality. Because you're there to serve man, not Christ.
That's right.
You've seen it with Yahweh Ben Yahweh. You see it with Pastor Dow. You see them coercing the people, man. And you're seeing it with IUIC. You're seeing it with all these camps. Your camp might have an Edomite ruling over you.
Uh-oh.
Or an agent. Because they have an understanding of this word.
That's right.
And they can feed who they want to feed. But they're not going to feed them Christ. Keep reading.
And after these things, he fell sick.
This is Alexander. He fell sick, read.
And perceived that he should die.
He understood that his time was coming, read.
Wherefore he called his servants such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
You understand this? Let me tell you something. That's why I go back to Alexandria. Do you know where Alexandria was? What location it was in? Egypt. They was already there. This is why I keep telling you. And I'm going to show you. They infiltrate every kingdom. Keep reading.
So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. And his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so that their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
You see what we dealing with, man? Let's go from a nation, a tribe. Matter of fact, get Daniel's. I want to show you it's in the Old Testament too. Daniel's 11:3. See, because a lot of people, man, they discredit the Apocrypha, but you get the King James 16:11, it's in there. What? I mean, people look for it. It's because of their narrative. They've been taught to think one way. Read that right quick for them.
Daniel chapter 11 and verse 3. And a mighty king shall stand up, that shall rule with great dominion and do according to his will.
This is talking about Alexander the Great right here. Read.
And when he shall stand up, his kingdom shall be broken and shall be divided toward the four winds of heaven, and not to his posterity, nor according to his dominion which he ruled, for his kingdom shall be plucked up even for others beside those.
You understand this is how they understand they passing down what they got to do. See, I'm pretty sure they talking to each other, man. We not gonna rule for that long. See, because they don't gave us an identity, and we went out there and we followed that narrative. The so-called white man. And we took it hook bait, you know. You know how they catch a fish, see a fish? See, we were dumb as they were too. See, we'll bite that hook too and get our jaw ripped open. Not knowing that who is who. You thinking they gave us an image of, they say Cedric Beaudieu, but all the other paintings that you see was dark pictures of Christ. When did Christ ordain them to give a graven image?
Bring it out.
Bring it out.
And now today, what the Israelites are doing, they got a dark-skinned Christ again, don't they? And they'll pull that scripture, I do not envy thy oppressor. But ain't they doing the same thing?
Bring it out.
Sister walked by there with blonde hair in her head. Don't envy your oppressor. But they don't even know black women wore blonde back in the day.
Yes, sir.
Stuff is crazy, man.
Crazy.
You start reading, man, you'll start understanding. You understand, man? Everything we know was just a lie. Daniel 7:7. Everything. Everything that they taught us, they fed us. I was looking at an old football game. They had the commercials, and I'm looking at the commercials. It's the same old thing. It just, with better graphics and, they enhance everything. They gave us, we had the big screen TVs, the one that it took about 5 people to move it. We had them 35 and 32-inch TVs, took about 6 people to move it in one room. Then they gave us they making sure they keep catering to our flesh. You see people that got iPhone 14s right now paying $300 a month in a phone bill. Because you can't go in there and afford to pay $1,000 for you and your boo. $2,000. Let us get it on credit. You're in there struggling to pay bills and paying a car note on 2 phones for it. And then they got it to where they got it 24 months, 36 months. And people do it. Why you think you go in all the grocery stores, somebody working as a cashier there with an iPhone? They be having the newest ones too. This is crazy, man. When you understand the Babylonians, the Persian Medes, then the Greeks. See, because all these other nations, they didn't know God. But then once the Greeks, and all the Romans did was follow the system. It's a system. And all they do is refine it, improve it. That's why they diverse. They make it, you understand all these added holidays, all these different things. It's just like people go get new cars now. Credit bad. They paying $1,000 a month on a car that they don't even want in 15 months. I want something new. It's just for the flesh. You ever see somebody walking through the airport and they got their Louis Vuitton luggage? They won't even speak to you.
Right.
They luggage make them better than you.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
That's what it's got to be, because ain't we the same looking? We look the same, don't we? Don't we got 10 toes, or they say they got 11 or something I don't know about? How does somebody else look down on somebody else?
Bring it out.
It's got to be a system that put it in their mind that they better, because they stay in a better neighborhood. Do you know most people that's got money staying in neighborhoods are some of the most sickest peoples on the planet, because they got to deal with more garbage?
Bring it out.
Read on, Doc.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 7. After this I saw in the night visions, behold, a fourth beast.
You understand this is Rome coming up. This is Rome. And they'll tell you Rome and the Greeks was Edomites. But then the books will teach you that they were so-called white folks. But no one went back and checked and say, hey, let me check and see myself. What they do, they accept the narrative. No one went back. And if I say this word, complexion, now you probably know what it means. A lot of you didn't know what it means. Like I say, brunette, what you gonna think? Since it popped in your head immediately. White woman with brown hair, didn't it?
Bring it out.
That's just talking about a dark-skinned sister.
That's right.
Pale, dark. They changed the meanings of the words. That's diverse, ain't it? That's how you can make a person drunk. So when you're telling them the truth, they can't accept it. Some of you can't accept it in the truth. That's just how it is. We want to eat what we want to eat. And Burger King tastes good, don't it? Some of y'all got them old favorite restaurants. Don't be trying to act like you don't. You know, the children, they go cuckoo for McDonald's fries. You almost have to lock your child down for some fake McDonald's fries. They don't listen to no commandments when it comes to that. I know, guys. You know, my son, I'm riding around. He's in the back seat. Poor McDonald's. You don't hear nothing from him. Just telling you the truth, man. Food is a weapon, ain't it? We don't know.
Dreadful and terrible.
Dreadful, man. This nation, this group of people, these tribes are dreadful and terrible. Read.
And strong exceedingly.
And strong exceedingly. That's what you thinking they army? It's the information, it's the doctrine, it's the lies that they pushing. That'll destroy anybody. You'll lose your way not knowing where you come from. And a lot of us don't even know where we come from.
Bring that out.
You got a lot of Israelites teaching America was Israel.
What?
I'm just confused. What mountain did they flee into? The Appalachian Mountain? And where was the land of Ham at then? See, it just be confusion, man. That people's the narrative that they want to push. Like the book of Enoch. You can't prove you can't base it off the Bible. They talking about 450 tall men. How can a sister handle a 450 tall man? How would they be reproducing amongst the earth? It's just silly, man. Silly rabbits. Tricks are made for children, ain't it? That's all it is. Just all it is, man. And the thing is, when we bring in the information, people don't want to hear it, man. There were giants. Where they found them, I seen them all. Yeah. Anybody can give you a CGI picture.
Bring it out.
And why is it that no one that you know ever found a dinosaur bone?
Bring it out.
It's always somebody that works for them. I don't know what our people have been doing for years. They've been drunk. Read,
And it had great iron teeth.
Great. What you thinking them iron teeth represents? It's there to destroy, to devour. Read.
And devoured and break in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns.
It had 10 horns. You know, when I first used to read the Bible, I'm like, man, this is some spooky and some stuff here, man. You know, think about it. When you used to see a lot of people that read their Bible before they came to truth, they still thinking they deep in this word. You deep drunk with wine, with strong drink.
That's right.
For you to read this and you saying, yeah, iron teeth, and it had 10 horns, and then they'll give you the image of the thing. You're like, man, this is gonna be some crazy. You go back into the world. You don't want to deal with that. I know I didn't want to deal with it, but I just kept the Bible with me all the time. I said, man, this is crazy, man. 'Cause I read it one time. I said, man, this is crazy stuff in here. Because it was sealed. Why it was sealed? Because the other nations made us drunk. See, it wasn't literally sealed. It was sealed because we didn't have we didn't have the Spirit.
That's right.
We had the spirit of man because we're going to see as men see. Give me Daniel's 7:23.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 23. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth. which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down, and break it in pieces.
Y'all thinking this kingdom gone somewhere? When they take down one of their own king, they taking down a ruler that's not following the orders. Why are you thinking when they was in over there in Rome, the emperors, they had to take them down? And a lot of them emperors, they committed suicide. They know they about to get their neck taken off, their spine pulled. Keep reading.
And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings.
He says subdue 3 kings. He's going to be diverse, and he's going to subdue 3 nations. When you understand, once they come in power, they come into your country and bring and take control. Do you think they come in there with war all the time? No. They can send agents in there. They can send what you call diplomats, what they call them. You can't even arrest a diplomat. You can't even give them a ticket. The police can't touch them. So when you understand they come into these 3 countries, and you know, we was given France, Spain, and Great Britain. How do we know that? Listen, we go and we examine and see if there's the truth. We have to know, we have to go dig and find, because guess what? Everything they're going to lead you is going to be leading you in the narrative for you to think that way. So we're going to accept it as those 3 kings. Give me Revelation 13:1. Revelation 13:1.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
This is what John is visualizing. This is your second witness to what Daniel was dealing with. The Bible always gives you 2 or 3 witnesses. He's saying the same thing. But see, a lot of people, they'll try to say, hey, this is talking about that. No. These people come into power back then. Read.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
He said it was like unto a leopard. Read.
And his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority.
You understand how y'all don't understand how much power the Pope will do. But let me tell you this. You see the Pope. Can we find that video, man? You'll see the Pope bowing down to the oligarchy. You'll see the Pope, who the Pope bowed down to. Why are you thinking every person, every king or president or whoever's in charge in that country kiss that Pope ring? They know the order, man. That's their religious system. This is what keeps us drunk.
I got you.
Show it. Who you think he kissing? Pope so old he can't even get down, man. Pope got the hell. Look at her. Now, hold up, pause it. He didn't kiss a ring, did he? He kissed his feet, man. That's let you know how much power these people's got. Keep playing it. Can't even get up, man. Look at this. Man, Pope, man, they should just let them stand up, raise their boot up or something like they be doing out there on the camps. Look at this, man. I would like to know more about these peoples, man. See ya? When do a pope bow down to a woman? You ever seen the pope bow down to some albinos? Y'all and people just thinking they mad because we telling the truth who the real Edomites are. They hating because, and let's go deal with this little horn. Because they telling us this was America. They was already in control, man. See, a lot of people don't know that the Spaniards and these other nations was already over here in America.
That's right.
You had all these countries, all them Edomites, they was already coming back and forth. So they thinking that people just started coming here in 1492. That's a lie. They've been coming over here, man.
That's right.
They've been coming because they knew where they came. They were just trying to figure out how to get here. But the Vikings, which you would call dark skins, they was already coming to and from. So they give you a Viking. Vikings didn't have horns on their head, man. They ain't had that kind of technology to make all that.
See.
Just another narrative that they give you. So, and you see this place medieval up here, off 35.
Yeah, medieval times.
They don't understand those about Edomites. Those are not about so-called white folks. But you'll see the white folks playing the character. The world is a stage. Read this right quick for them, Daniel 7 and 8.
Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 8. I considered the horns.
He say, I considered the horns, these 10 kingdoms. Read.
And behold,
Read on.
there came up among them another little horn.
Out of these tribes come a little horn. Out of these tribes come a little horn. Read.
Before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
Read on.
And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man.
It's letting you know that this is going to be a nation of peoples. Read.
And a mouth speaking great things.
And a mouth that speaks great blasphemy, man. Give me Exodus 17, man, and 13. Exodus 17 and 13. I'm going to show you, this is talking about Amalek. These are talking about the Amalekites. And let me show you something, how the Lord can show us who is who. And that's what we're learning in this Bible. We're learning the peoples now. And one thing that I have been doing, I got information on the color of these peoples. I just don't have enough to do a class. And let me tell you something. A lot of this information is hard to find. A lot of it. It's a lot of researching. A lot of time that get put into finding information out. Read this out.
Exodus chapter 17 and verse 13. And Joshua discomfited Amalek.
And why was Joshua dealing with Amalek? Read on.
And his people with the edge of the sword.
Keep reading.
And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua.
Tell Joshua, read.
For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
They're going to have to all go. And let me tell you something. They all ain't going to be just killed with the gun, man. And we ain't going to round them all up and burn them with fire. What scripture is that? That's pure madness, man.
That's right.
The Most High will get rid of them with sickness. And a lot of them are sick. And a lot of them into that homosexuality too.
Thanks.
So you understand this? The way we was taught to think is not the way the Most. He said, my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. Understanding to wipe a person off the planet. See, back in the old days, it was that way. But read.
And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah. For he said, because the Lord had sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
Who do you think have been persecuting us, man? The Lord. Who are the Lord? We are the Lord's people. So who been having war with us? With these men. Give me Joshua 3 and 12. Let me show you. Man, that ain't saying, boy, lit up my nose over there. Smell good, man.
Joshua Judges.
Read this out. Judges, I mean, man. Man, they had my head. So I can barely see. Oh, you right, man.
Judges chapter 3 and verse 12.
Let me get that with you. Read it.
And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord.
They did evil in the sight of the Lord. You know, why do we continue to do these things? Wonder why. Coming out of Egypt, man, guess what? A lot of people never let go. It's going to be that in the kingdom. A lot of people are going to want to come back here. They're going to want to live the way that they were. A lot of people don't like to work with their own hands. Let me tell you something. Men's and women's, it's best to teach them children from a young age.
Right.
work with their hands.
Facts.
See, I seen a video about the girl putting the dog, making the dog pick toys up. I had Benji picking his toys up. Grab him, put him in his butt. Stuff all over the floor, man. Put your toy. Your toy ain't gonna put it over back where I had it. See, he still be on the floor. It's a thing, you know. Hopefully one day he'll grab his teeth and go put it back in there. You don't want to listen, man. Then come and wake up in the morning, you go to the restroom, you step on some squeaky toy. He wake up thinking it's time to play. We don't know.
And the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel.
And the king of Moab against Israel. Read.
Because they had done evil in the sight of the Lord.
Read on.
And he gathered unto him the children of Haman and Amalek, and went and smote Israel, and possessed the city of palm trees.
Why he didn't go grab the rest of the Edomite tribes? Specified Amalek. Give me Judges 61. Let me just show you. They have let me tell you something. These other nations are gathering and are trying to help each other and trying to help build with each other. But it's just the Israelites that don't want to do it.
Right.
Right.
Read this.
Judges chapter 6 and verse 1. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord.
Here we go. Ain't y'all tired of being bad?
Bring it out.
How many whoopings do you have? See, a lot of you ain't never had a real man whoop you yet.
Bring it out.
That's right.
See, when that man really whoop you, man, you get in trouble less and less and less. And when you do get in trouble, you're like, man, that's the word. I deal with this man. See, after a while, you get smarter, man. But see, Israel don't want to get smarter. They love being punished. Read this.
And the Lord delivered them unto the hands of Midian 7 years.
Midian, 7 years. Read.
And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel. And because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made them the dens which are in the mountains and caves and strongholds. And so it was when Israel had sown that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites and the children of the east, even they came up against them.
Read on.
And they encamped against them.
That's all I need. Y'all gonna see that this next, give me Judges 10 to 10. And these are under different captivity. These are different situations. It's not the same, but you're gonna find out there was always one character there. One nation. They didn't want to come out when we came through the land of Edom. It was Amalek that attacked us, not the rest of the Edomites. And you know, we supposed to go out here and just hate on people. We don't know who is who.
Bring it out.
Right. Bring
Bring it out.
Read this out.
Judges chapter 10 and verse 10. And the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, saying, We have sinned against thee, both because we have forsaken our God and also served Baalim. And the Lord said unto the children of Israel, Did not I deliver you from the Egyptians, and from the Amorites, and from the children of Ammon, and from the Philistines, the Zidonians also, and the Amalekites, and the Moabites, and did oppress you, and ye cried to me, and I delivered you out of their hand.
Why he naming the rest of the Edomite tribe?
it up.
They the only one names is not written in the book of life. They don't only nation that they don't have repentance. They can't be saved. Why? 1 Samuel 15 and 1. Let me show you what the Lord put on what Samuel told Saul. See, they were supposed to have been destroyed already. See, but you know what? See, some of these camps, they got this spirit of Saul, man. Hard-headed, man. Think about it. If that was taken care of back then, we wouldn't be dealing with this.
Bring that out.
But the Lord knew Saul's spirit. He don't like to follow 100. Read up.
1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 1. Samuel also said unto Saul, The Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus said the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way, when he came up from Egypt.
Why he ain't talking about the other tribes? And you know who the Amaleks are? They the dukes. You ever read in the Bible? You ever read the information, the dukes in Great Britain? You read about the dukes. The dukes was all over the planet.
Bring it out.
They leaving a trail, man, and I'm following it. Keep reading.
Now go and smite Amalek.
He said, go and kill Amalek. Read.
And utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass.
Jump down to verse 8.
Verse 8. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive.
This is what Saul did. See, because when you're not following the Most High, how are you going to lead his people?
Bring it out.
The peoples of Israel, seeing the other nations had kings, they wanted one.
Right.
When they already had a king, Christ.
Right.
They had always had prophets, seers, watchers that was there for them. But they wanted what what it tells you, do not envy these other nations.
Right.
Read on.
And utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
He told them to go kill all, but you know what Saul did? Saul blamed it on the people.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
1 Samuel 27 and 8. And you got to understand the Bible is going through time period. It ain't just 1 year. Read this out.
1 Samuel chapter 27 and verse 8. And David and his men went up and invaded the Gershurites and the Gezrites and the Amalekites. For those nations were of old and inhabitants of the land, as thou goest to Shur, even unto the land of Egypt.
They was already, ain't they in Egypt already?
Bring it out.
So you didn't think they took control of Egypt?
Bring it out.
You thinking that them new pharaohs wasn't Edomites, Amalekites?
Bring it out. Bring it out.
But see, I got a book that they were telling me that they was Israelites.
Uh-oh.
But no, it's just like the Russian icon. You see that book? See the so-called Israelites, they thinking them are our people. Those are Edomites.
Bring it out. On that. Bring it out.
A lot of those books, man, are useless. Go to 1 Samuel 30 and 1. Let's deal with David had to deal with. 30 and 1 and 2.
1 Samuel chapter 30 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south, and Ziklag, and smitten Ziklag, and burned it with fire. And it had taken the women captives that were therein. They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away and went on their way.
You understand what Amalek did? They go and kill the men, take the women's. This is where I'm starting to learn where we getting confusion of face.
Bring it out.
Because every time we see somebody dark skinned, they're Israelite.
Uh-oh.
It's just too many tribes, man, for everybody. It's going to be the spirit that's going to let us know who truly is.
That's right. That's right.
Jump down to verse 18.
Verse 18. And David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away. And David rescued 2 wives.
It's 2 wives. Don't you know they ready to stone David after the other men lost their wives? Greatest David had been good to them. They ready to take him out, man, because they still had that fleshly spirit. They didn't really believe and trust in the Most High and His Son. Now go back to 1 Samuel 22 and 16. They really don't trust in the spirit. If you have to trust in the spirit, the Lord is guiding us. Some of us, we don't trust because we still honor the flesh.
Bring it out.
Sometimes you got to trust in the spirit. It's hard, man, because when you've been taught one way, you can't see no other way. Read this up.
1 Samuel chapter 22 and verse 16. And the king said, Thou shalt surely die.
This is Saul, King Saul. Read.
Ahimelech, thou, and all thy father's house.
These are the Levites. Read.
And the king said unto the footmen that stood about him, Turn and slay the priest of the Lord.
He telling Israelite men to turn and slay them. Read.
Because their hand also is with David.
See, you understand, when you're with Christ, everybody gonna hate you.
Bring it out.
Read.
And because they knew when he fled and did not shew it to me, but the servants of the king would not put forth their hand to fall upon the priest of the Lord.
Let's listen to Doug. Read.
And the king said to Doug,
This is an Edomite of Amalek. Read.
Turn thou and fall upon the priest. And Doug the Edomite turned, and he fell upon the priest and slew on that day 85 persons.
85 peoples. Read.
That did wear a linen ephod.
And did wear it. So read on.
And Nob, the city of the priests, smote he with the edge of the sword both men and women, children and suckling, and oxen and asses, and sheep with the edge of the sword.
And with the edge of the sword, give me Esther 3 and 8. Let's see if this thing doesn't just continue to play out throughout the Bible. This nation have their true hatred, and they can't get it out their system.
Bring it out.
Their thing is they'll destroy their own.
Right.
They'll destroy their own. Read this out.
Esther chapter 3 and verse 8. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people. Neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasures. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hamada, and the Agarites, the Jews' enemy.
Hold up. Y'all don't know that these people are our enemy. Period. This is not going into these other nations of Edom. And when people say, God hate Esau, what did he hate about Esau?
Bring it out.
He hated that he didn't keep the commandments. He hated that he didn't follow the traditions of what the Israelites had. He hated he went off. Did he hate the person?
No.
Did he hate making them? Don't we go off? Don't God hate our sins? So they take it to another level when they out there in the corner.
Right.
Read.
And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also, to do with them as it seemeth good to thee. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month, and there was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants and to the governors that were over every province, and to the rulers of every people of every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language. And the name of King Ahasuerus was it written, and sealed with the king's ring. And the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces, to destroy, to kill, and to cause perish all Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
You understand? Let me tell you something how they do. The Haman, he was second in charge when he was a different nation from the king. This is how they get in. They infiltrate every nation. Couldn't no albino man infiltrate these nations like someone that looks like you.
Bring it out.
And let me tell you something. Right now, them albinos in Africa are fleeing and scared, man. They over there chopping them up, making soup out of them or something.
Bring it out.
Yeah.
So you thinking a so-called albino, all the way back then, would have went into two Hamite tribes and married their daughters? You gotta be sick in the head, man. They wasn't playing that. They'd have been scared of him.
That's right.
Because that wasn't normal. When people seen that, they always knew that it represent what? Sin. Someone probably going through plagues. That wasn't natural. Wasn't natural. Give me Psalms 83 and 4. I'm just showing y'all that this has been a pattern and it never changed. You're going to always see Amalek, the little horn. And who's controlling the whole world? That little horn. That little horn has power. Read that out.
Psalms chapter 83 and verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee.
Check this out. They're going to use this, try to use this over there in Israel today. Sooner or later, watch this. Because what they're over there doing, they're saying all these nations are against them. But the peoples over there actually know that they are not the original people.
That's right.
And see, when you read in the Bible in Revelation 2 and 9, how is it that they going out on these street corners telling these people, calling them Jewish? They should know that they're not the people. They should understand that the people that Christ was talking back then looked like us.
Right.
Edomites.
Right.
Anybody that's pertaining to be a Jew. So a lot of people's now pertain to be a Jew, don't it? Everybody. You got the Ethiopians. You got the Igboos. And the thing is, why they give us African American? What is so vital about that? Did they ever want us to know that we was coming out of Greece, Russia, Germany? See, we all think we come from Africa. So they gave us a narrative and we follow that path.
Bring it out.
People going right over there now. Oh, man, I'm over here to visit and see the ports where they had us captured. And they can't show you nothing. They can't give you no information about that port. I can. That it was an army post port. Just like that, why they didn't have ports built here in the United States? So they came over here and they got off ship and they just sold them. What if somebody didn't want to buy 10 of them? What'd they do with them? You free? It just doesn't make sense, man. The stuff that they don't fed us for generations just doesn't make sense.
Bring it out.
It really shows how low of a function our minds were. It don't make sense. Keep reading, huh?
The tabernacle of Edom.
It now is letting you know the tabernacles of Edom. Read.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites. Read.
Of Moab.
Read on.
And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek.
Hold up. Why did they specify Amalek again?
Bring it out.
The little horn. Keep reading.
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah.
You understand how the children of Lot, didn't you know the children of Lot come out of Egypt with us? Not all of them, but they was the strangers. These nations have hatred for us because they have been indoctrinated in a system to hate us.
That's right.
To not to show why you thinking they want to make sure people. Then you had GOCC had the flee doctrine. Go to another country. How you gonna get treated there?
Bring it out.
Obadiah 1 in 11.
Bring it out.
How you gonna get treated there? You gonna get treated real well? You gonna be able to go there and get a job? You can't even read the street signs. You can't even drive the car, the steering wheel on the opposite side.
Bring it out.
Where you gonna work at? You understand that these other countries are struggling even harder? You thinking they not over there going, catching hell? And a lot of it they don't really show on the news because they can redact it real fast. They can control what comes to us. And you're always doing it's the same media companies that feed us the information. Don't they got YouTube over there?
Bring it out.
Don't they got Facebook over there? One time I was using on Facebook going into these countries and trying to subscribe their members. Facebook blocked me, locked me down. They control the narrative. Read this up.
Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 11. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them.
Why is it separated? I thought it was just all Edomites that came into the country and raided us. Y'all don't be understanding, man. We don't got one narrative of information. They all are working together to keep us buying down. But see, the other nations don't know that they have a chance for salvation too. They have a chance of repent from their sins too. And they can seek eternal life. But through the system, that's why they create their own religion.
That's right. Facts.
What main religions are the Chinese? Do anybody know?
Christians.
That's what they are. That's what they are. They follow the same doctrine. It's nothing new under the sun, man. Give me this letter, next letter, man. Amalek. Amalek is controlling everything. And I got that book. When you're reading them books, man, you read about the dukes. The dukes was noblemen. They was in power. No matter where they was at, they was in power. If they was in Switzerland, you had the dukes of they would call them the names of the country. They was dukes. Type that in there, man. Dukes of England. Read this out.
Amalek. The latter end of the Amalekites is reported that his latter end is that he shall perish forever.
See, they know. They know. Because of their actions. They know. Judgment is on their head. So what they do, they control, it's five medias that controls all the media, all the information, just like it was with the newspaper. They control every narrative that we get. It's nothing when we walk outside this door is going to be true. Nothing. Read on.
Midianites, who were confederate with the Amalekites. It was a Roman governor who condemned our Savior, and Roman soldiers mocked him and beat him with staves. Roman soldiers scourged him and crucified him. Roman soldiers parted his garments and cast lots for his raiment. A Roman spear was thrust into him, and Roman soldiers guarded his tomb. Roman emperors cast his followers to the lions and covered them in tar to be used as human candles. Romans tortured them in every evil conceivable way. A Roman pope put forth the bull, a decree that stated any believer owning a Bible was to be killed like a venomous snake. It was a Roman pope who instituted the Inquisition, which saw millions of believers die in every evil imaginable way man's mind could concoct, by tortures and starvation.
They still ain't doing it. Y'all still don't understand. This is the Rome. This is the beast. When y'all don't even know, I went to New York. I was showing my wife. I was showing her that thing down there. I said, this is Greece. It's the same thing, Rome. You'll see it in every country. You'll see these things, these buildings and stuff. You're gonna see the same thing, signs and symbols that they leave, that they people know about. Did you find any, Matthias?
Well, I got one here on the Wikipedia list in the present day. What's that?
Yeah, pull it up. Let's see what it says.
Going into Britain and Ireland. 30 of the presidents.
There you go, right there. Kingdom of England, Kingdom of Scotland, Kingdom of Great Britain, Kingdom of Ireland, United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. You just keep going down, keep scrolling down. All of the Charles the First, these are dukes.
And they also got right here peerages from the dukes to dukedoms, marquises, the earls, viscounts, barons, baronets. York, Portland, Cornwall, Lancaster.
Y'all don't understand, these peoples are very powerful. Very powerful. Back to the letter, man. You'll find out they behind everything. And let me tell you something. They say 3.5 years, 3,500 years. I did a count back. I don't know the exact date Greek came into power. I can't believe what they write. I did it, and it came down. It was like they 63 years. I got to 63 years now. But if you look at their kingdoms, it's over with, man. And Christ is raising up his kingdom. As one go down, one get raised up. We are in the beginning of stages of coming back to the kingdom. We are in the beginning stages of being raised back up to our natural state. But it's the people that truly don't want to accept it, because guess what? It started with Babylon, and they don't want to leave the comfort of getting in a car going to Walmart. They think that is life. It's not. But read,
It was a Pope of Rome who instigated the Crusades. It was they who assisted Hitler and Mussolini rise to power. The prize they thought to gain was a reunited of the old Roman Empire. With themselves and authority over it, it was the Pope of Rome who supported the Spanish Armada, seeing Britain, and had once been a part of their empire as Anglo-Saxons.
You understand these Anglo-Saxon are not talking about that's what they want to, the Aryan Brotherhood. These are talking about dark-skinned people. So you understand they had to change names, titles. People call themselves, if you say you're from China, do they gonna say they from their tribe? If they say they from Japan, they gonna say they from their tribe. Most people represent their flag, and they don't understand it represents nothing. It's just a title. Keep reading.
As their prize, and the popes are still waging a clandestine war on Protestant Christians today.
Christians, Israelites. And you got to understand the people that's in Christianity, that's a war too, teaching them a doctrine of lies, not teaching them Christ. If you got the narrative, you can teach them what you want to teach them. If we raise up in power and we were wicked, we can teach the United States people. And about a generation, they'll be believing everything. And the children's will be pushing the lies, just like you're seeing today. Keep reading.
Rome failed into successful kingdoms and empires. Little Horn introduced a newly elite. False churches equal Catholic Church. Military system equals in all countries to control the people.
Why are you thinking they have the same system? They may march different, have a bigger hat on, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. The peoples are lost. And what the people do? They follow the narrative. Whatever their congressmen or presidents say, they listen. That's why you won't find the Israelites. That's why I say there are some Edomites leading these camps, because they're not preaching coming together.
That's right.
They're preaching division.
That's right.
They're preaching camp titles instead of Christ. Read on up.
Monetary system equals in all countries to control the people.
Let me ask you this. Did anybody ever find a coin from Egypt? What monetary system did they have?
Teach.
See, these are the things we should be asking. There was none. And you go back, man, and you just learn what their system is. Why are you thinking you got the Dutch dollar? You go to Mexico, you have to change over to foreign currencies. You go over there with $10, you might get what, $100,000, but it's the same as $10. It's the same system. You start seeing the monetary system come in with the Greeks. But read.
10 Kings is the resurrection of the Babylon, Greek/Roman Empire, all controlled by Amalek.
All controlled by the Amaleks. Give me Revelations 13:5. Understanding. To know the truth, it say, ye shall know the truth. Okay, you know how to keep commandments. You know how to follow Christ. But what about the history? What about the information that has been sealed from us? Read this out.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy.
Everything is speaking against Christ and the Most High and his children. What other nation they going to speak against? Read.
And power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months.
When you're going into those 40 and 2 months, 3.5 years, 3,500 years, you know, his time is short.
That's right.
See, it's going to be anarchy on the planet. You understand that the farmers, they paid the farmers subsidy to kill the crops. So what happens to that cycle when it comes to that food again? And a lot of your food, man, buy any fruit in the store, set it on your counter, and within a few hours it'll start rotting. So what you thinking that rotten food doing to your insides?
Bring it out.
Read on.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God.
In blasphemy. This is why you got all your denominations. You got you think about the Islam guys. And you think about Farad coming over here, a thief, setting up, Malcolm X coming out, telling all about what was going on with inside. They had to shut him up. It's the same way in this truth. They're gonna try and shut us up. Because when you look at the YouTube, and I was telling Deacon Ezra about this, how they might have our algorithm 20 to 1, how they control our numbers, how they can, when you look at our page, you'll start popping up other camp videos. They're giving you a narrative how that they're trying to lead the peoples. It's a system. And they have people that work the system, and they pay them good to do what they do.
That's right.
Keep reading.
To blaspheme his name.
That's what they want to do, blaspheme his name. Read on.
And his tabernacle.
And his tabernacles, read.
And them that dwell in heaven.
And them that follow Christ, read.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
You understand war? This is not a gun battle war, man. This is an information war. Read.
And to overcome them.
And how you overcome them, you use your doctrine. Because guess what most people gonna follow? People with money.
Facts.
They'll follow people with money every time, man.
Facts.
Before they follow Christ. And they always understand people with money, basically individuals. That's why I say for a company, it needs to be ran by the peoples. Because the peoples are invested in the company. They all should believe the same thing. And it should lead to all the same things. Everybody should be fed and be treated equally. But if you want a king, you're going to have to bow down and take a knee to somebody.
That's right.
Keep reading.
And power was given him over all kindreds.
All kindreds, all tribes, read.
And tongues.
Read on.
And nations.
Read on.
And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him.
Shall worship him, this little horn, this devil. We don't know who we worshiping, man. Why are we worshiping? Why are we worshiping? I was looking at that stuff, some stuff on YouTube, man. It's showing these brothers in bad lights, man. All these brothers, Pastor Down, them, all of them. All of them. It's just everybody. What I see is I say, man, I'm thankful the Lord ain't get us caught up in that wave, man. That wave can get you tossed out your vessel back into the world, bugged out.
Right.
That's what happens, man. Read.
Whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
That's what they understand. Their names is not written. So what they gonna do? Everybody else, we're gonna destroy. And guess what they do? They use that money and power, put people's other nations in power, and they do the same thing. Some of these nations, they know. That's why Stephen said they know not what they do. Because they've been taught by man to do what they do. Keep reading.
If any man have an ear,
see, if you can listen, get understanding, read.
let him hear.
Let him hear, read.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Listen at this, read.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
This nation got to be wiped out. Read.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Keep reading.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb.
This is the Pope and the emperors. You understand how they control things? You thinking they're not in control of things today? When the Pope traveled to a country, everybody go run to him and bow. I don't know how nobody could be in Rome and they're looking at this man. He can barely walk now.
Teach.
I'm going to retire for that, man. You ain't going to see me up in here in a wheelchair. I'm going to be out there chilling with y'all somewhere. They'll make me a special table. You know, I foresee these things, man. It's a time, it's a season for everybody.
That's right.
And I tell you, man, the beauty of these things, you hear the classes, man, they come out even purer. See, the water was a little dirty, but we're cleaning it up.
Right.
To where you can consume it better. Read on.
And he spake as a dragon.
And he spake as a dragon. He spake, and what a dragon, that's represent his lies, his deceptions. Read.
And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
This is all deceptions. This ain't talking about a thermonuclear bomb, man. What good is that? They can kill off. We all following the commandment. They shoot a bomb over. You think Christ's going to allow that?
Teach.
This is all fear tactics, what they use. Fear tactics. The jab. Fear tactics. Continuous AIDS. Fear tactics.
Bring it out.
Fear tactics. Global warming. Fear tactics. That's what they use on us. Because they know we weak. So they know weak spirits, they can be easily controlled.
That's right.
Read.
And deceivable them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast.
And you thinking this is such that so-called albino image that was created in the late 1800s. And you know what? It's hard to find information on these things. You got to dig. Let me tell you something. Reading books, man, will build you into the man or the woman you want to be.
That's right.
But if you choose not to read, you're going to be the person of this world. I feel sorry for a lot of y'all. I don't hear y'all calling for that, sister. We're going to have a reading. We're going to read the Bible. None, man. It's all about pleasing the flesh. Y'all better get out that spirit, man. And let me tell you something, with this system, he's easily to take you out. Read on.
Which had the womb by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Shall be killed. And you telling the beast or the nation or the peoples. Read.
And he caused it all, but small and great, rich and poor,
Nations, read.
free and bond,
Read on.
to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
How? So they say the chip is going to be in your right hand, but I thought it said it's going to be in your forehead.
Teach.
Bring it out.
These cats don't understand how computers work. So they, like I say, man, they're not jabbing nothing in my hand. I don't even want a shot. That's why you see the children, you know, I know a lot of our parents didn't know, man, but you ever see you get your child get that shot, they hollering for days. They be hitting that pacifier like they ready to knock you out. You ever heard that child hitting that pacifier hard as hell, ain't it? Got some stress on his chest, man. You don't let this man stick me with a needle. We shouldn't be putting foreign substances in our bodies.
That's right.
Now,
Free.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
What corporation do we run? Do you know all these corporations, Disney, all of them, they represents the code.
bring it out.
That's the monetary system, the beast system, the 666, man. Tell me where we got a change of anything. You see McDonald's everywhere. Taco Bell. You see certain restaurants in certain areas. We can never rise up in this system. So don't think that you ever will. They will not. They control everything. If we wanted to buy boats and create our own luxury line and take people out to the ocean, who controls it? How will we finance it? Who gonna do the repairs on the ships? We don't ask no question. We don't think about nothing further than being in power.
That's right.
Power without knowledge is no power.
That's right.
Keep reading.
Here is wisdom.
Here is wisdom. Read.
Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
So when you understand, I seen somebody 6 neutrons, 6 or something. This is talking about, man. When you understand this represents how his power, what is his power? His corporations, his monetary system, his church system, the kings that he set up. We will never be allowed to be in any of these entities. Never. Because we have a spirit that will not allow us to take advantage of our people. Some of our peoples will, though, because they have that flesh. Get back to Daniel 7:18. And you know, when you used to go to YouTube, you used to type in, they used to give you all kind of videos and show you all the signs and symbols that they had hidden. Y'all watch out what y'all children sitting and watching by themselves, man. Watch the movies with them.
That's right.
Don't sit them in front of that television like our parents did.
Man.
Read that,
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 19. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet.
Keep reading.
And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints.
This is that little horn, read.
And prevailed against them.
And prevailed against us, man. Destroyed us. Destroyed us spiritually. That's what we have been taken. That's what's been taken from us. Our souls. They control them. You don't even know you being controlled. If I say something, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Easter is already popping your head, little eggs.
That's right.
Jump up to verse 9.
Verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair on his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened.
Keep reading.
I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed.
His spirit, his system destroyed. This is what we're doing. This is why I tell you sometimes you got the little hand. You don't understand how important the work that you're supposed to be doing. Sitting around waiting on someone else to do. That's how it is out in the world. You got 11 guys and 22 guys on a football team, maybe 30. You got 50 some on it. But when the trophy raised, the one that ain't got no PT, he the most happiest. He the one partying the hardest. Probably was the one least in the weight room, barely hanging on. Probably won't even see a team next year. But the ones that are putting in the work, they don't look for all that glorification, man, that worshiping, being worshiped as a man. That is not important. What's important is a family, a nation, a system that we live in and thrive in. Not the beast system. We'll never make it in it. But keep reading.
And his body destroyed.
And his what?
And his body destroyed.
His nation destroyed. Read.
And given to the burning flame.
And given to the destruction that is coming to his way. Read.
As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away.
These other nations had their power taken away. Read.
Yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time.
Their life was prolonged for a season and time. Keep reading.
I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him.
And they brought the nations near before him. Read.
And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him.
Hold up. Read that again.
And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him.
I don't understand. This here should let you know that these brothers out here are lost. They totally lost, man. Keep reading.
His dominion is an everlasting dominion.
His doctrine, it is an everlasting. Read.
Which shall not pass away.
It is not going to be destroyed. Read.
And his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit, in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me.
You understand what we coming in here telling y'all? This thing that troubles me, that people are sitting around casual, not taking this walk serious, not seeing that if they shut Walmart's down, how much food you got? How much water you got? Since you're casual, you got time for everything else in this world. Let me tell you something, they're going to be in these stores fighting soon.
That's right.
Killing each other. But are you prepared? Are you ready? It's time for your wives and husband and everyone to start sitting down at a table and start getting things ready. Because tomorrow is not promised.
Right.
You might, I don't care how healthy you feel. Tomorrow is not promised to nobody.
That's right.
So stop playing games with your life. What about your children? Are you considering them? But see, everybody love that flesh. That flesh is this piece of paper. Right. This is all it is. And you just a soul in it. Don't get caught up on it. See, some of you thinking, hey, I put a little makeup on, I look good. Why are you thinking so many sisters out here selling themselves out? Botox, everything. Even the man's getting hair weaves on top of their head now. I'm not understanding if my hoe got a natural in it, that's where you're going to see me. Keep reading.
I came near unto one of them that stood by.
Read on.
And asked him the truth of all this.
Ask him, read.
So he told me.
Read on.
And made me know the interpretation of the things.
Read.
These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
How you thinking we're going to do it with war? They waiting. Shoot if you want to. Shoot if you want to. They'll send a little fly drone in on you.
Bring it out.
We're going to take it the way that they took it. They destroyed the people, we rebuilding the people.
Right.
It's going to take a little time though. But read.
And possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
And possess the kingdom forever and ever. Where we at? Jump down to verse
26.
Yeah.
Verse 26. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end.
We're going to take away his dominion, his power. His power is lies. Knowing the truth is so important. You can destroy a lot of people with a school system. Read on.
And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him.
What did it say? All dominions shall serve and obey him. Everybody on this planet. Or you're going to be put to sleep. This is what's going to go on. This is why I say, you know what happened this week grieved me a lot. Because sometimes we take it and we don't take life really serious. We'll wait, and not even have time to put things in order. So a lot of you need to go sit at the table. Do it once every 4 months. Talk about your finances. Talk about what you got stored. Talk about where you're trying to go. Your house is a company. It's an extension of the company. So if you're not doing those things, and like I say, get those passwords up. That's one thing that's going to be hard. I don't want you in my business. You ain't got no business. Teach. Yeah, I guess you got portfolios in there, stock market, you dealing with the stock market, you got what, bond sale, you got all, that's when you got some business. Just having some gossip on your phone is no business. Facebook is no business.
That's right.
So take this serious, man. Tomorrow is not promised.
Right.
I keep saying it. And let me tell you something, what we're supposed to do. We're going to be swimming tomorrow. We're going to have a good time, man. We're supposed to be enjoying this. See, a lot of people don't know how we're supposed to be enjoying. Once you get your house right and your life right, you're going to enjoy it.
Right.
I'm telling you. Understand this. Once you get things right, man, this walk is going to be enjoyable. But as long as you still flesh and have spirit, you're going to still go through it. Shalom, East Coast.
Shalom.